Alrighty, here's a good one for you today. So what we see here is a Power Mac G4 Quicksilver. This is the first model introduced in 2001. And I've just picked this up and I wanted to do a quick video on it to at least get it up and running. Amazingly, and this will come as a shock to most people, it actually works. These are notorious for being the most unreliable Power Mac G4s ever made. Was major power supply issues. So you see here, CD-ROM, zip drive, speaker. Turn it around. You see, nice graphite case. This case is in like perfect condition. Sorry for the wobbling, guys. And we turn it around some more. See standard complement of ports, headphones, microphone. There's a 56K modem, gigabit Ethernet, 2 FireWire 400s, 2 USB 1.1s, and down here is a VGA and ADC connectors. So we'll zoom in on the back here as best we can. And we'll take notice that it's a 867 megahertz, 512 megs, 60 gig hard drive, zip drive, CD rewritable. Has a modem and it came with a keyboard, gigabit Ethernet. And this was interesting. It says Mac OS 9 and Mac OS X. So this was probably one of the last computers that Apple sold that actually had both OS 9.1 and OS 10.0.6 on it, I think. So, and we'll spin it around here. You can see very, very clean case. There's no scuffs or scrapes on it. It's in impeccable condition. I mean, it's a little dusty inside, but considering, I mean, it's really, really nice. And especially considering what I paid for it. So, I got this as a package deal. I got the computer, the original Pro keyboard, and a 17-inch ADC cinema display, which is in pretty rough condition. Compared to the computer, it's in really poor condition. I got it for $100, or no, I'm sorry, I got it for 40 bucks. Only for the simple fact that this thing has never been upgraded or even touched. The specs on the back of the computer are the specs of the computer. The only thing that was wrong with it is the hard drive is dead. So I threw I just threw a 30 gig hard drive in for the moment, just to have a hard drive in it. But we'll turn it around here, open her up, and you see that this thing is really, really clean. I mean, the logic board still looks practically brand new. It has a NVIDIA GeForce, I think it's an MX card, video card. It's like 64 megs of memory. Still got the original 512 meg DIMM in it. 2 slots are open. You can see it's got the 4 PCI, just PCI slots, not PCI Express slots. There's a spot here for an airport card, which is missing. And got the 4 hard drive bays back yonder. There's 1 hard drive in it. You can put up to 4 in here, but with this model you have to have the SCSI card in order to run that many drives. So, and we got the CD burner and the zip drive up here. So, and this particular model is equipped with the Delta DPS 340 AB power supply. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to power it up, plug it into a monitor, and we're going to try to load OS 9 on it because it only has a CD-ROM drive or CD rewriter in it, and I don't have a copy of OS 10 on CD. So right now we're just going to try to load OS 9 on it and see what happens. Okay, so now we're going to power up the Quicksilver here. Oh, a nice chime. And I have this hooked up to one of my 24-inch monitors I normally have hooked up to my Mac Pro. I know for a fact that the hard drive is no good in this machine, so we are booting off of a CD-ROM right now with macOS 9.2.2 on it. So this should bring back memories. Try to get a slightly better view on the monitor here. And yes, believe it or not, Mac OS 9 will actually support 1920 by 1080 on a 23-inch monitor. It's kind of surprising. It looks ridiculous, but it'll do it. So we're just going to take a lookie here at the specifications of the machine. And the battery's dead in this thing, so click that, and click that. Okay, so we're good about this computer, and you can see we got 512 megs of memory. Apologize for my crappy cameras not cooperating here. Installed in the machine, which was the stock memory according to the sticker. So we're going to go into the CD-ROM here. And this is the Mac OS 9 Lives CD-ROM. I highly recommend it if anybody is messing with some of these older machines. This version has been modified a little bit to work on computers that don't necessarily support OS 9.2.2. Oh, we're going to open System Profiler. And as you see here, 512 megs of memory, 256K level 2 cache, 2 megs of level 3 cache. It's a machine ID 406, which is the older version of the machine IDs. It's an 867. Go over here, you can see we have a CDRW. Just a typical light-on CD burner. And then here we have, I thought it was a ZIP 100. It's actually a ZIP 250 in this thing. So that's kind of cool. And then the video card is a NVIDIA GeForce 2 MX with 32 megs of memory. And if you see over here, we're actually running 1600 by 1200 at millions of colors right now. So, since I know the hard drive is totally dead, what we're going to do is we're going to shut the machine down. And we have goodies. So we'll take a look at those here. Alright, so we have some goodies here. We're not just going to replace the hard drive, we're going to do a couple quick little upgrades while we're at it. I had to go down to my storage shed today. I knew the hard drive was no good. I tried to power the machine up before, and the hard drive just kept coming on and off, on and off, on and off. So I tried a second hard drive, and that one was no good either. So I had to go down to my storage shed and get some parts. So I figured, well, why not do a little upgrade while we're at it. So here we have a DVD drive. It's a DVD burner. It's the only DVD that I had. Everything else I have is just CD-ROMs or CD burners. I must be all out of DVD burners. So this is a HL data storage DVD writer drive. So, but this one's cool. This is actually fairly period correct. This is from 2005, but this is one of the LightScribe drives. So, LightScribe was kind of a failed labeling gimmick that some of these companies tried to use to sell DVD drives. It was slow and painful and did not catch on, thankfully. So, but we got that, and this is of course just regular ATA. All these drives are ATA, parallel ATA. So this is a hard drive I really want to use. This is a Seagate Barracuda 7200. It's an 80 gigabyte drive. To my knowledge, this drive does work perfectly. But some of these drives have been sitting around so long I don't remember anymore. So this might be an experiment more than anything. So the other drive that I dug out is a Maxtor Diamond Max 9. This was also 80 gigs. I got this mainly as a second drive in case the Seagate doesn't work. So, and then we have some memory. So, now this was the only PC 133 memory I could dig up that was worth anything. This is a actual Apple module. I don't remember what I pulled this from, but it's a 512 meg module. So adding this on top of the one that's already in the machine will give us 1 gig. The max is 1.5. This one here is only 128 megs. I may not put this one in. I just grabbed it just because, really. I also have an iMac G3 here at the house that uses PC 100 memory. I may actually try putting that in that to try to get that revived. It's a Snow White G3 450, so that might be showing up on a future video. So let's get cracking. Okay, so I put the RAM and the hard drive in. So at this point in time I want to try everything to make sure it's working okay. Because the DVD-ROM drive is not necessary at the moment for installing OS 9. So let's see what happens. Alright, well, according to drive setup, still having hard drive problem. Likely because I didn't plug it in. But also, if you take notice, that computer said it found a memory problem. So let's take a look here. Okay, so the 128 meg DIMM is bad. So, but we do have 1 gig of memory now. So let's shut this computer down. We're going to plug in the hard drive, take out the 128 gig DIMM, and try it once more. So, these are the dumb things that happen when you work on computers. You realize, oh crap, I forgot to plug this in. I plugged in the data cable, I forgot to plug the power in. And if you took notice in the last segment that I did also replace the data cable, because I like to do that on these hinged door systems because they have a tendency to get weak and fail. So let's try it one more time. I miss a happy Mac. So, one more time, hey! We got one not initialized, one not supported. The not supported drive is a zip drive. So, you'll take notice that on the type, you have ATA and a TAPI. The TAPI devices are CD-ROM zip drives, removable media drives. Right here is the hard drive. So we're going to try initializing it. We're going to make 2 partitions because this is an 80 gigabyte hard drive. We're going to make the one for OS 9 30 gigs and the one for we're going to make one for OS 10 50 gigs, roughly 50 gigs. And it should only take a second. There we go. We've got 2 hard drives, Untitled 1 and Untitled 2. So Untitled is the OS 9 drive, and then Untitled 2 will be the OS 10 drive. So we quit this utility for drive setup on OS 9. Run the Apple hardware restore, software restore, yeah, hardware restore. So, as you see here, this is how OS 9 does their install. They don't actually install it. What they do is they have a custom configured system and then they make it into an image file. So we're going to basically load the OS9 lives.img file onto the disk Untitled here. And there's special options here, which is basically just to restore things. And then of course it'll verify you want to install, because it's going to erase the hard drive when it does it. So we're going to speed this up and then come back. Alright, so as you see, it's installed, so it's successful. So we're going to quit the system restore program. And now we have a hard drive that says Mac OS 9 lives here. So we open it up and it looks like a basic OS 9 hard drive. So we're going to, first off, we're going to eject this CD. Oh, whoops, that's right. Duh. So let's restart and see what happens. Satisfying noise. With a gig of memory in here, OS 9 should fire up like lightning on this thing, since there's no extensions or anything for it to load. And it did boot off the hard drive because the desktop's different. That's weird. Oh. Okay, I didn't know they did this with OS 9. Doing that. I use this one. No. There we go. So OS 9's up and running. 9.2.2 running on a gig of memory. That should be more than enough memory for anybody on Mac OS 9. Utilities. Huh. Can't seem to find System Profiler. So we'll load from the CD-ROM since it's still in there. So, yep. 1 gig RAM. And it detects the modem, and it's detecting the internet or the network, but I don't have that plugged in at the moment. And it's detecting all 2 hard drives, which is just 1 hard drive partitioned, and CD burner. And the display, it's running at 1600 by 1200. So let's go into monitors. Go to 1920 by 1080 since that's the native resolution of this monitor. It looks kind of freaky, doesn't it? Oh. Let's go back to 1600 by 1200. There we go. Looks normal again. Oh Lord, that was weird and creepy. So, oh. We will eject the OS 9 Live CD since we no longer need it. So we got her up and running. Next video we're going to put the DVD drive in it and we're going to install OS 10. I'm going to try 10.4 on here and go see what happens. So join me next time. If you like this, subscribe, share, and we'll see you later.